We have just finished the FIFA World Cup round of 16 and we're moving to the quarterfinals. And by the look of things, every match is going to be close in this knockout bracket because there have been so many games which have gone down to the wire, and every game from now on is incredibly tight and has so much on the line. Saying this, there could also be my top 4 favourites to be in the semi-finals. So all the top 4 favourites of mine may be in the semi-finals. Those top 4 are England, Spain, France, and, of course, Argentina. Those 4 all have a way through to the semi-finals. That is a crazy thought because that just shows how why those teams are so highly rated and how well they are able to finish games out despite the fact that every game is tight. Okay, I'll see you after the break, but I'll be back with a massive preview. A rematch of one of the semi-finals at the FIFA World Cup in 2022 is going to take place again in the quarterfinals of this 2026 FIFA World Cup. France are playing Morocco in a rematch, and these two sides still look incredibly strong sides. Morocco look maturer than what they were, and France, they just have the incredible quality France always bring to football. Now, when I look at these two teams, the last time they played in the World Cup was, of course, that rematch where France won 2-0, and they won on quality there. And we know the quality France bring to this World Cup. We've seen it. They are probably my favourites to win this World Cup from here, just because of the fact they have players of incredibly high quality. 3 of the best players in the world. Kylian Mbappe, Michael Olise, possibly my favourite at the moment, and Ousmane Dembele. And not only this, but they also have the rest of the team to back that up. It's such a balanced side France have, and that's where I think Morocco will struggle against them to be able to put attacks and base attacks on that transition against players like William Saliba, Upamecano. And their weakest player or position possibly is left back, where Luke Dean literally stood up so well against Paraguay that now I think they don't have any issues within their side. The only problem that I've found is that one game where they played Paraguay in the round of 16. It's where when those players are off, when those stars are off, sometimes they don't have anyone to revert to. But that's quite a statement to have all Mbappe, Olise and Dembele all off. I think it was just one off game for them. So we may see a very strong French side come to play against Morocco. And that's the one test they needed, Paraguay, that I think they will come out better from that. And we saw Desiré Doué, his penalty he won was so key for France to win that game. These sort of players could absolutely shape how France play and will cause Morocco so much stress. They are not only going to have starters that are absolutely testing them, but they will have players off the bench of incredibly high quality, whether it's Desiré Doué, whether it's Bradley Barcola. Those players have that impact to change games. They've got so many players in their squad to change games. Now, thinking more on Morocco. Now, Morocco, they set up And they've looked like a decent team, but they have struggled at times to score goals, break other teams down. And often they are defending for so long periods in the game, and when they break on transitions, that's where they get their best strengths and their best opportunities. And we've known that since that World Cup in 2022. That's where they are best at. When teams do not have many players at the back to defend, and Morocco have numbers forward, they are dangerous. We know El Khanous, he is such a player when he is moving forward. He's been a breakthrough star for Morocco. And then they've got the likes of Saibari, who may be back after his injury in the round of 16. But these players that are able to create and finish, those guys are going to be key. But they have to finish. We saw they definitely finished well against their last opponent, Canada. But for the majority of that match, they didn't really have the dominance that we expected them to have. And that's where they could go down if France use their quality and are able to execute. Morocco maybe put out of the game early on, and they will struggle to get back into it, because we know France will not push too many numbers forward and will just hold that positional game, and that's where they are most dominant. I also think France are a very patient side within their attack. They don't force things too much. That's where Didier Deschamps gets a lot of success, when they have that possession and they can just have that patience to wait for that world-class player to make a moment. That's where I think they are going to be best here, France, and that's where they succeed so often. Morocco can only, I think, win this game if they have players like Unahi, who had such an outstanding game against Canada, and El Khanous, and Saibari, and Hakimi. Those key players, they all have to be firing, and all have to be up for the challenge. While also at the back, they have to be solid as well. They cannot let goals through, otherwise they will find there will be too many goals down to come back from this match. Overall, I think France will be too much quality in this match. Despite the fact Morocco are giant killers, I just don't believe Morocco have been... Yes, they've been strong and they have moved up a bit of a level, but I don't think they still are enough quality to beat the likes of France and win late in games. I mean, we saw them win late in games in the last match, but still, I don't think Morocco have been secure enough this tournament for them to win this match. So I believe France will go through. I'll be back in a moment, or if you're watching the individual preview, goodbye, but I'll be back in a moment to bring you some matchups to watch within these quarterfinals and a few previews with it that. We all know when it comes to World Cup quarterfinals, there are always incredible matchups throughout the whole lot of matches. But here I've assorted two big matchups within these lots of matches, and they are very key ones for these teams to qualify through. Okay, first of all, I'll start with Spain v Belgium. Now, this match is actually going to be quite a thriller, I believe. And that's because Belgium showed in their most recent match that they are up for challenges. USA were definitely a big challenge and were possibly tipped as favourites for that match. But Belgium stood up, won 4-1. And late in the game showed their quality. Now, USA did not help themselves. There are a few mix-ups there in defence, and the goalkeeper had a bit of a hash-up a few times there, but Belgium took their chances, and when they take their chances, they are high quality. We've seen before this, in the group stage, that they had struggled to score goals other than their game against New Zealand. But now we see it. They are able to score goals, and with the quality they bring off the bench, they are quite dangerous. Now Spain, they weren't incredible against Portugal. I thought they needed to score a goal earlier in the match, because they dominated that match, I think, and Portugal lacked quality. I thought Spain should have scored a goal earlier, and they didn't create enough chances during that match. So it's going to be key for them to be able to create and finish off chances during this matchup against Belgium, because Belgium have creative players, and they have players that are fresh. Kevin De Bruyne was not played last match. Lukaku and Doku were on the bench. And that's where they will be strong here, Belgium. They are going to be firing for this. So I wouldn't be surprised if Spain find themselves on the back foot early against Belgium. Now, the big matchups we're talking about here is through each team's wingers. And we know how quality Spain's winger, Lamine Yamal, is off that right side. This guy is phenomenal. He can change games. He can score incredible goals. And he is going to be key for Spain to win this match. We know it. And Alex Baena on the other side, he's also going to be key with the runs he makes. He's impressed me so far. But if those two can create, then they are for all money in for a massive shot here. I'm picking Spain as the favourites for this match just because of the quality they have throughout the whole team. But then we think Belgium, their wingers are incredibly exciting to watch. Jeremy Doku is a star, and when we saw him come off the bench against USA, he was high quality. And then they have Trossard, who is such a good player as well, and he's possibly been one of their better players this World Cup as well. Such key roles within this team these players do have. So those creators are going to be massively key. Let's not forget Kevin De Bruyne and Dani Olmo and Rodri. Those guys are also going to be massive for this match to dominate the game. But creating, I think, is going to be the key look-in for this match to whoever wins here. The other point I want to make is the bench for each side the benches are going to be key. And we saw the impact Belgium were able to bring on with Jeremy Doku and Lukaku. Now, I don't know if they will bench Jeremy Doku, for this match. I think they may start him. But Lukaku, he should be coming off the bench and bringing that impact. He has scored 2 goals and impacted an own goal just by the pure impact he brings off that bench. His ability to have that influence on a team, he just brings that energy that Belgium need to score that goal, and he could be key. Now we look on the other side. Mikel Merino against Portugal scored the winner, and he is a massive hybrid sort of player who can come in and impact the game as well. So those guys are going to be key to producing that win. So wingers and the bench are going to be key for these two sides to win out here. Now the other matchup I wanted to look at was Argentina versus Switzerland. So of course Switzerland just got past Colombia in penalty shootouts, and Argentina only just got over Egypt with a 3-goal comeback, which was pretty much Lionel Messi, the Lionel Messi show. Argentina are purely the Lionel Messi show. And that's where I think the main players for each team, Lionel Messi, the likes of Lionel Messi, and for Switzerland, Xhaka and Ndoye. Those players are going to be massive for this match because they play purely around Lionel Messi and Granit Xhaka. Both these two teams are working around them, pivoting from them, and using them as a bit of a layoff. And those two players are going to control the tempo of this match. We know Xhaka likes to control games, while Messi likes to produce magic. If Messi can do what he has done for the last... It's too many to count matches where he has scored in a row in World Cups. If he can do that again, which I think he will, because Lionel Messi is Lionel Messi. If he does that, then Argentina are massively in for a shot. Now, let's not forget the rest of the Argentinian team. Yes, they did struggle at times against Egypt defensively. But moving forward, I really do like how they balanced the last game as well with their striker. I think Alvarez was good starting, and Lautaro Martinez is a good player to bring off the bench, and he's a great player for penalty shootouts. I think they worked that well as well. While Switzerland, Ndoye was their key, was a really big player for them on that left side. He was pretty much all they got in attack. And these two sides actually struggled to create until late in the game, or at least struggled to finish until late in the game for Argentina. That's going to be a big point here. If they can finish, that will be massive. I think it'll be an end-to-end encounter. We know Argentina love to hit teams with a bit of a transition. Not huge transitions, but they don't control games hugely. And we know Switzerland love that as well. So I think it will be quite a evenly distributed sort of possession-wise sort of match. But Argentina should have the quality to win at the back end of the match. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. And a storm is brewing. So stay here for more. A storm warning is going off, and this is for the massive match we have here between Norway and England. And you may have guessed it, the storm warning is for Norway to upset the English. Now this seems pretty simple to look at because we have seen Norway upset the Brazilians, but this is a whole different encounter here, and I just haven't seen enough from the English to convince me that they are going to get through the Norwegians. Now, when we look at Norway, they don't have quality all over the pitch, but I think the grit they can dig in games, we saw against Brazil, that is quite incredible. And if they can replicate that again, I think they will hurdle over England. Now let's not underestimate the English. We know how good they are. We know the quality they have all over the pitch. And we saw actually a really decent performance they put in against Mexico. They grinded out that win. But I don't want this to happen. I actually quite like watching England and like watching them going far because I love the players. But I think Norway just have something special about them. It reminds me of Morocco from 2022. They just have that extra bit of zing. And the quality of the players up front, Erling Haaland, just to execute when times get tough, just when they get that one opportunity, he can just execute. And that's where I think Norway are just going to push that next level. And they're going to have to push up a level. Even though Brazil are an incredible side, I think England are a level up from Brazil, or even two. And that's why Norway are going to have to really put in a massive performance here. But I think they can. Nyland, we saw against Brazil, his goalkeeping performance was outstanding. And with that, if he can replicate that again, we could be seeing one of the greatest, most incredible upsets of football World Cup history. Now let's not go away from England's attack. We love England and their players they have up front who can produce moments that save the English, such as Jude Bellingham. We saw him in the Euros save them with his bicycle kick. Harry Kane, he saved the English not long ago in this World Cup, in the round of 32. And we've seen so many big players, those two players mainly, stand up for the English in recent times, when often in the past they haven't had those players to stand up for them in those big moments. Those two players, singularly, are going to be key. Now we've also got to think about the wingers they have. They are some really exciting players, but sometimes they have looked off at times. But I think what we saw against Mexico was pretty solid from them. And Gordon put in a massive performance, and Bukayo Saka as well. And I think they will be the starters for this match. And they deserve to be, just because of the work they put in for that match. And they looked really positive against Mexico. Now, how are Norway going to control this? Well, let's not look past the fact that they are going to concede chances. Having four at the back is always going to concede chances when you don't have incredibly high quality players. And we know that Norwegian defence isn't hugely qualified, but this goalkeeper Nyland showed us that the grit they can put in for that want to go further in this tournament, I think, is why they can move forward and get to the semi-finals. If they can hold out England and shut those wingers down like they have been shut down at times, and shut Harry Kane down, they could really be in for a shot here. Let's not forget also that moving forward they're going to have that quality as well, but not only Erling Haaland but also their wingers and Odegaard are really, really good on that transition. And when those four players are moving forward with pace, they are hard to quiet. And I don't think, unless England go ahead and do what they did last match, I don't think they will be overly secure at the back. We haven't seen them being secure. They were very edgy against Mexico in the late stages of their round of 16 match. So it's going to be massive for them, those centre-backs, to be able to close the likes of Haaland, the likes of Nusa, Soloth, Odegaard down, but also have the extra players with him to not allow overloads as well. This is going to be a massive match, and everyone knows it is. They are the most likely team, I think, for anyone to get through one of those top four favourites in these quarterfinals, just because of how they have worked themselves so far this tournament. So I think Norway are going to upset the Giants, England. Alright, I'll be back in a moment with my forecast picks. But thank you for listening. 4 quarterfinals, and I have 4 forecast picks to make. Okay, I'll first switch on to France versus Morocco. This looks like a really exciting game, but I think France have too much quality up front, and Morocco won't be able to quiet those attackers down. So I think it will be a 3-1 win over Morocco. Now that's not a hugely close game, but I think it will go down really deep within this match. Now, Spain versus Belgium. Now, I don't know about this. I have questions of whether Spain can create enough. So I'm predicting it'll go to extra time. But Spain will score a winner hugely late to win 2-1 over Belgium. Argentina v Switzerland. Now this could be a really exciting match, and I think this one will go to penalties. Yep, you heard me there, penalties, because Lionel Messi will keep them in the game, but I think Switzerland do have an exciting team. Maybe lack quality in the final third, but I think it will go to penalties and Argentina will win, as they often do. And then we have what I call the storm warning. Norway, I think, are going to get over England within the 90 minutes and win 3-2. Alright, thank you for listening to this podcast. I will see you in not too long, because there is so much to look forward to for the rest of this FIFA World Cup. Every game matters at the moment, and there is so much to tune into at the moment, so enjoy it, and I will see you later.